Aaron Hernandez was a football hero. He was gifted with incredible talent, an NFL star for the New England Patriots. But there he was, a millionaire with fame and fortune, standing over a body in a Massachusetts industrial park in the early hours of June 17, 2013. Moments before, Aaron had been laughing with friends at a local bar, the picture of confidence and charisma. Now his life pivoted on a single, irreversible act. Odin Lloyd was just 27, a semi-pro football player with dreams of going pro. He was known for his infectious smile and determination. People loved his energy. He was the kind of person who lit up any room. His girlfriend, Shayana Jenkins, cherished their time together. That Sunday night, Odin texted his sister, "NFL, just so you know." It was an unremarkable message, anchored in everyday life. But it was also the last text Odin Lloyd would ever send. Aaron Hernandez appeared to have it all. He was the kind of athlete young fans idolized. On the field, his agility defied physics. Off the field, his smile charmed. His fiancée, Shayana Jenkins, saw a softer side, a man who could be tender and warm. But behind the public veneer, his life spiraled into a world of violence and paranoia. He couldn't escape the shadows of his past. Once adored by fans, a darker narrative simmered beneath Hernandez's glossy image. Lloyd's murder shocked everyone who knew him. He was found with gunshot wounds to his back and chest, abandoned in an isolated gravel pit. The discovery left a devastating void in his family's life, a life abruptly halted by unforeseen violence. Investigators soon discovered Hernandez's connection to Lloyd. Odin was dating the sister of Aaron's fiancée. It seems an ordinary connection, but it hid a complex web of relationships and tensions. The question arose, why would Aaron Hernandez, at the height of his career, be implicated in such a brutal act? The investigation quickly turned toward Aaron. Surveillance footage from his home in North Attleboro provided critical evidence. It captured Hernandez holding what appeared to be a gun just minutes after Lloyd was killed. This was no ordinary night. The footage contradicted the image the world had of the star tight end. It wasn't just a crime, it was a betrayal of everything his public persona represented. As detectives delved deeper, they unearthed unsettling patterns. Hernandez's life had two faces, the celebrated athlete and the man embroiled in a violent underworld. Stories of bar fights, altercations, and a penchant for the dangerous emerged. The narrative of a troubled past began to take form. Inconsistencies piled up, painting a portrait far removed from the NFL darling fans adored. With each day, more damning details surfaced. Text messages between Hernandez and Lloyd hinted at tension. The messages were cryptic yet revealing, suggesting a rift that culminated in tragedy. Friends described Hernandez's growing paranoia, his fear of betrayal even from within his circle. The once unassailable star seemed to unravel. Prosecutors argued that Hernandez drove Lloyd to the remote location where he was found dead. Evidence showed Hernandez's car on surveillance cameras near the crime scene. Phone records traced their movements together on that fateful night. It seemed as if every piece of evidence tightened the noose around Hernandez, pulling him deeper into the abyss of guilt. Beneath the media frenzy, an intricate puzzle of Hernandez's life emerged. Former teammates and friends began speaking out, revealing a darker side long hidden from view. Allegations of gang ties and a penchant for violence began to surface. The NFL star's life appeared increasingly entangled with a sinister lifestyle far from football's clean-cut image. The trial captivated the nation. Onlookers watched as prosecutors laid bare Hernandez's double life. They painted a picture of a man who couldn't sever ties with his murky past, a man torn between two worlds. Yet the defense argued a lack of concrete evidence linking Hernandez directly to pulling the trigger. The jury had to decide, was Aaron Hernandez guilty of murder, or was he a victim of circumstance? What investigators found on Hernandez's phone that night would change everything. We will get to that. But one question lingered. How did someone with so much to lose spiral into such chaos? As the trial unfolded, each testimony added complexity to an already convoluted story, leaving everyone to wonder what truly happened that night. Aaron Hernandez seemed to live a charmed life, a life full of promise and potential. Yet beneath the surface lay a different truth, one that ultimately led to his downfall. The tale of Aaron Hernandez is a stark reminder of how swiftly the scales can tip from glory to tragedy. leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and broken dreams. Aaron Hernandez's arrest sent shockwaves throughout the NFL and beyond. A beloved athlete implicated in murder was not just scandalous, it was unthinkable. Police focused their efforts on reconstructing the timeline of events surrounding Odin Lloyd's murder. Surveillance video placed Hernandez at the local bar earlier that night, laughing with friends. But his demeanor shifted drastically once he left. The investigation unearthed critical evidence linking Hernandez to the murder. His home surveillance system provided a trove of damning footage. The night Lloyd died, cameras captured Hernandez arriving home with two other men. One was seen carrying what looked like a Glock pistol, the presumed murder weapon. Later, the footage showed Hernandez pacing nervously. His agitation was palpable. A rewatch moment undeniably chilling as viewers zeroed in on his anxious pacing. Detectives recovered tire tracks at the crime scene matching Hernandez's rental car, placing him at the isolated spot where Lloyd's body lay. Forensics also revealed shell casings found near Lloyd's body matched those from a gun recovered in a nearby pond, a gun prosecutors argued Hernandez tossed to eliminate evidence. Each discovery tightened the noose, painting an increasingly grim picture for the defense. As the case unfolded, contradictions began to surface. Hernandez's fiancée, Shayana Jenkins, testified about disposing of a mysterious box at his request. Prosecutors suggested it contained the murder weapon. However, without the box's contents, its significance remained speculative. Jenkins appeared caught between loyalty and truth, her testimony inconsistent and fraught with emotion. Text messages exchanged between Hernandez and Lloyd revealed a troubling dynamic. Some messages suggested camaraderie, others hinted at tension and mistrust. Lloyd's final message, NFL, just so you know, suggested he felt threatened, aware of a looming danger. Yet the meaning behind his words remained tantalizingly elusive. A rewatch moment, prompting viewers to speculate on the message's true intent. One critical piece of evidence was Hernandez's cell phone records. Investigators traced his movements throughout the night, mapping a chilling journey from the bar to the crime scene. GPS data showed Hernandez's vehicle at the industrial park where Lloyd was killed, a smoking gun in the chain of events. But it was what they found on his phone that delivered the case's biggest bombshell. In a shocking twist, Hernandez's phone revealed a series of deleted texts. Forensic experts retrieved these messages, uncovering a chilling conversation with an unknown contact. The texts suggested Hernandez was tied to a broader network, implicating him in activities far removed from football. This revelation brought speculation of gang affiliation to the forefront, changing the trial's direction entirely. The evidence painted a portrait of Hernandez as a man tangled in a web of violence and deceit. His double life, once hidden behind the glamour of the NFL, was laid bare. But the defense clung to the lack of direct evidence linking Hernandez to the act of murder itself. They argued reasonable doubt, urging jurors to consider whether Hernandez was merely a scapegoat in a larger conspiracy. The trial gripped the nation, every detail broadcasted and scrutinized. Public fascination with the case stemmed not only from Hernandez's fall from grace, but also from the haunting question of motive. Why would a man seemingly living the dream resort to murder? On April 15, 2015, after weeks of deliberation, the jury found Aaron Hernandez guilty of first-degree murder. The verdict ensured his fate, life in prison without the possibility of parole. The decision brought some closure to Lloyd's family, yet questions lingered. Hernandez's apparent ties to gang activity raised suspicions about other possible crimes and accomplices. 2 years later, on April 19, 2017, Hernandez was found dead in his cell, an apparent suicide. This shocking final act closed the case, but not the discussion surrounding his life. In a final twist, posthumous tests revealed Hernandez suffered from severe CTE, a degenerative brain disease linked to repeated head trauma, common in football players. This revelation sparked debates on the impact of CTE on behavior and decision-making, adding another layer of complexity to his story. Today, the legacy of Aaron Hernandez remains a cautionary tale. His life, once filled with promise, reduced to a tragic narrative, marked by violence and unfulfilled potential. The unresolved question that haunts, did the sport he loved contribute to his ruin, or was he always destined for this path? The story of Aaron Hernandez remains an enigma, a testament to the duality of fame and destruction.